No one expected a single photo shoot to shift the gravity of global pop culture. No one imagined that one appearance, one outfit, one quiet yet commanding pose could reignite the flame of a legendary publication and turn it into the most talked-about brand of 2026. But when Jungkook stepped into that deep burgundy leather ensemble, sat confidently with an effortless aura, and embodied a presence that felt larger than the frame itself, history quietly began to rewrite itself. It started with a photograph. A simple yet powerful image. Jungkook seated with composure, eyes steady, posture relaxed but dominant. The rich burgundy leather coat draped over his shoulders like a modern king's robe. The fitted leather pants sculpting a silhouette that blurred the line between high fashion and rebellious rock star energy. A crisp white shirt partially unbuttoned, revealing just enough edge to hint at boldness without losing sophistication. It wasn't just styling, it was storytelling. Within minutes of its release, social media platforms erupted. Hashtags trended worldwide. Fans dissected every detail: the texture of the leather, the shine of the boots, the subtle confidence in his gaze. The phrase "Aura Boss Mode" began circulating online as ARMY described how Jungkook didn't just wear the outfit, he owned it. But something bigger was happening behind the scenes. Rolling Stone, a brand already iconic in music journalism, experienced an unprecedented surge in digital engagement within hours. Website traffic spiked dramatically. Their social media followers grew at a pace that stunned analytics teams. Pre-orders for physical issues skyrocketed beyond projections. It wasn't just fan enthusiasm, it was a cultural wave. Industry analysts would later call it the Jungkook resonance effect. For years, Rolling Stone had been respected, legendary even. But in a fast-moving digital era dominated by short-form content and fleeting trends, legacy brands often struggle to maintain explosive relevance. Jungkook's feature didn't simply boost numbers, it injected a new generation of global energy into the publication's bloodstream. Why did it work? Because Jungkook represents more than music, he represents evolution. By 2026, the results were undeniable. Rolling Stone's brand valuation surged. Merchandise collaborations tied to that issue sold out repeatedly. Limited edition covers became collector's items across continents. Even people who had never purchased a music magazine before suddenly wanted a copy, not just as a magazine but as a cultural artifact. The burgundy look became symbolic. Fashion critics praised it as a masterclass in modern masculinity, powerful without aggression, stylish without excess. The outfit blurred gender boundaries while amplifying confidence. It felt rock and roll yet polished, dangerous yet refined, and Jungkook embodied that duality flawlessly. Soon, fashion houses began referencing the shoot in trend forecasts. Burgundy leather saw a noticeable increase in runway appearances. Retail brands quietly admitted that consumer searches for similar styles had multiplied after the images circulated. It wasn't coincidence, it was influence. But the real transformation lay in perception. Rolling Stone was no longer seen solely as a legacy magazine. It became a global lifestyle symbol again. A bridge between generations, a platform where past legends and present icons converged, and at the center of that shift stood Jungkook. ARMY didn't just support the feature, they mobilized. Fans organized coordinated buying campaigns across countries. International shipping orders exceeded expectations. Online forums buzzed with discussions analyzing every word from the interview. Quotes from Jungkook trended as motivational lines. Edits and fan art flooded timelines. The cover wasn't just content, it became community currency. Marketing experts were stunned. By early 2026, Rolling Stone reported record-breaking subscription renewals. Their digital platform expanded aggressively into new markets. Partnerships increased. Advertisers took notice. The publication's relevance in Gen Z and global youth demographics reached its highest peak in over a decade. Was it solely because of Jungkook? The industry whispered one answer: yes. This wasn't the first time Jungkook had influenced sales or brand visibility. The phenomenon widely known as the Jungkook effect had already reshaped industries from fashion to food to luxury goods, but this time felt different. This time it revived a titan. The power of the image lay not just in visuals but in timing. Jungkook stood at a stage in his career where maturity met magnetism. He wasn't just the golden Maknae anymore. He was an artist who had grown into his own narrative, confident, composed, fearless in experimentation. And Rolling Stone became the canvas for that transformation. The 2026 numbers painted a clear picture. Merchandise revenue linked to collaborative branding reached historic highs. Special edition reprints were requested internationally. Digital engagement metrics outperformed previous years combined. In industry circles, one phrase echoed repeatedly: the Jungkook cover changed everything. What made it extraordinary was authenticity. The photo shoot did not feel forced. Jungkook's posture wasn't exaggerated, his expression wasn't overdramatic, it was quiet dominance, the kind that doesn't demand attention but commands it naturally. Fashion editors later described the moment as the rebirth of rockstar editorial energy. Because Jungkook bridged two worlds, K-pop precision and Western rock mystique, and Rolling Stone, a publication historically rooted in rock culture, found itself revitalized by that fusion. 2026 became the year headlines declared Rolling Stone the most in-demand cultural media brand. Subscription growth charts soared, social media impressions multiplied beyond industry norms, collaborative pop-up events tied to the issue attracted global attendance. It was no longer just a magazine, it was a movement. Behind the numbers were emotions. Fans described feeling proud seeing Jungkook command such a legendary platform. Longtime readers rediscovered excitement in the brand. New readers discovered it for the first time through him. And perhaps most importantly, Rolling Stone's editorial tone subtly evolved. It embraced more global perspectives, more cross-cultural narratives, more modern storytelling formats. Influence doesn't always shout. Sometimes it sits quietly in a leather coat and lets the world adjust around it. The burgundy outfit itself became symbolic of confidence in transition, a reminder that growth can be stylish, that evolution can be bold, that legacy brands and new generation icons can elevate each other rather than compete. Critics initially wondered whether the spike would be temporary, a short-term fan surge. But as quarters passed and data stabilized at significantly higher baselines, skepticism faded. It wasn't a spike. It was a shift. Rolling Stone in 2026 became synonymous with global pop dominance again. Their events drew larger crowds, their interviews became must-share content, their collaborations extended into fashion capsules and multimedia expansions. And in countless think pieces analyzing the resurgence, one visual was always referenced: Jungkook in burgundy leather sitting with calm authority beneath that iconic masthead. Or a boss mode indeed. For ARMY, the narrative was simple: Jungkook doesn't just participate in culture, he reshapes it. For marketers, the lesson was clearer: authenticity plus global influence equals exponential impact. For Rolling Stone, it was a renaissance. The image continues to circulate online even now, months after its debut. Edits evolve, quotes resurface, fashion recreations trend periodically, the aura hasn't faded. If anything, it has intensified. Because what people witnessed wasn't just a photo shoot, it was synergy at its peak. A global superstar aligning perfectly with a historic platform at the exact right moment. And in that alignment, something powerful ignited. By the end of 2026, analysts confirmed what fans already believed: Rolling Stone's brand sales and engagement metrics reached their highest levels in modern history. Limited edition merchandise sold out faster than any previous collaboration. International subscription growth outpaced competitors. The phrase Jungkook boost entered business discussions. Yet Jungkook himself remained humble in interviews, often crediting teamwork and artistry rather than personal power. But numbers tell stories words cannot hide. From fashion influence to cultural relevance, the ripple effects of that burgundy moment spread far beyond expectation. It proved that a single image, when carried by genuine charisma, can ripple across industries. It proved that Jungkook's influence transcends charts and stages.